United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You might want to ask them to mute that. Roll call. Mr.
Anybody on the conference line, can you mute out your phones, please, because we can hear the feedback here at the meeting. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No problem. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Here.
Mr. Franco.
I'm here.
Mr. Cabrera.
I'm here. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the notice requirements have been satisfied as to the time, place, and date of holding said meeting by posting notice on the bulletin board in Borough Hall and by mailing and emailing same to the Herald of Cape May County, the Gazette Leader, and the Press of Atlantic City on December 7th, 2022. In the event of an emergency, your emergency exit is your back right, our front left, or our front right, also your front left. A couple quick announcements. This meeting is being shown live here on YouTube, our borough's YouTube channel, which also connects directly to the borough's Facebook page. In the event any of the public would like to ask a question, you can certainly, that's not here in the audience, you can certainly call into the dial-in conference line. I'll repeat the number, 888-363-4734. Again, that number is 888-363-4734. And when prompted, you're going to enter the access code 969-9020, followed by the pound or the hashtag. Again, that number is 969-9020, followed by the pound or the hashtag. In the event you watch the recorded version of this meeting, you're welcome to reach out to our clerk up here to my right. Clerk@wildwoodcrest.org is the email address, or you can call directly 609-729-8040. We have no ordinances on the agenda here today. All the rest of the ordinances will be at the next meeting. Madam Clerk, may we have the resolutions, please?
Yes, sir. The first is authorizing appointment of Ronald Galzunas as the borough's solicitor and approval of professional services contract for calendar year 2023.
Motion?
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
And with your permission, numbers 2 through 13, if we could do through consent agenda. The first is authorizing signatories for various Borough of Wildwood Crest accounts. The second is designating newspapers. The next is authorizing adoption of the calendar year 2023 temporary budget. Next is the adoption of the calendar year 2023 cash management plan. The next is authorizing Jason Hesley, tax assessor, to represent the borough in tax appeals. The next is authorizing the tax collector to conduct a tax sale in calendar year 2023. Next is authorizing the interest rate, grace period, and year-end penalty for taxes, sewer fees in calendar year 2023. Next is authorizing cancellation of 2022 tax sewer balances of $5 or less. Next is authorizing the reappointment of Ron Galzunas as municipal prosecutor. Next is authorizing reappointment of Seth Fussolaro as municipal public defender. Next is authorizing Francine Springer and Alexis Campolango to continue as custodians of petty cash for the Wildwood Crest administrative offices at the not-to-exceed sum of $250. And lastly is authorizing Robert Lloyd to continue as custodian of petty cash for the Wildwood Crest Police Department at the not-to-exceed sum of $200.
I'll motion by consensus.
I will second, sir.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolutions be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next are all the professional services contracts. The first is William Blaney, Esquire, Special Labor Counsel. Next is Animal Control of South Jersey for animal control services at the not-to-exceed amount of $10,800. Next is Stephen Sakare for services as hearing officer for calendar year 2023. Next is Michael Jedziniak of Carluccio, Leone, Diamond, Doyle, and Sachs, special counsel for COA-related matters. Next is Hawkins, Delafield, and Wood, LLP, as bond counsel. Next is Dan Ziegler and Mark Hoff for the Gatsby 75 actuarial services for the fiscal year ending 2022 at the not-to-exceed sum of $3,700. Next is Contemporary Technology for network support IT in the amount of not to exceed $89,000 for calendar year 2023. Next is Mark de Blasio Associates as municipal engineer. Next is Ford Scott and Associates as Borough Auditor for calendar 2023. Next is Scott Taylor for Taylor Design Group for Planning Board Planner at the not-to-exceed sum of $9,500. Next is BFJ Planning for Affordable Housing Planning Services and Administrative Agent, the not-to-exceed sum of $15,500. Next is J. Byrne Agency as Risk Management Consultant. Next is Phoenix Advisors as SEC Continuing Disclosure Specialists. Next is Michael Testa of Testa, Heck, Testa & White as Conflict Special Labor Counsel. Next is Avery Teitler of Teitler & Teitler for Conflict Solicitor for the Borough of Wildwood Crest Planning Board, not to exceed $9,500.
I'll motion by consensus.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolutions be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
The next two I'll read separately. First is authorizing professional services contract with Robert Belasco for legal services for the planning board at the not-to-exceed sum of $25,000 for calendar year 2023.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Abstain.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing award of contract to Square One Design for website hosting management and consultation and website design at the not-to-exceed sum of $6,300 for calendar year 2023.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Abstain.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
All right, and the next ones are going through 41. First is for TAG Consultant Group as cost reporting reimbursement specialist for the preparation of 2022 fixed assets at the not-to-exceed sum of $2,000. Next is POG Safety and Health Consortium for alcohol and drug training testing for CDL operators. Next is James Malley of Malley Givens for special counsel for land use redevelopment at the not-to-exceed sum of $15,000. Next is Triad Associates for consulting and application services for funding opportunities. Next is Stephen Morris Esquire as conflict municipal prosecutor. Next is Eric Garabrandt as conflict public defender. Next is Christopher Winter as law enforcement consultant specializing in police accreditation at the not-to-exceed sum of $5,400. Next is Tennille Yaskin of the firm Cullen and Dykeman LLP for specialized legal services at the not-to-exceed sum of $5,000. Next is James Rutala Associates for consulting and application services for funding opportunities for calendar year 2023 and 2023 flood prevention applications at the not-to-exceed sum $15,000. Next is to the Lomax Group for specialized engineering in conjunction with the New Jersey Urban and Community Forestry Program tree inventory at the not-to-exceed sum of $5,000. Next is the Lomax Group for two projects. The first is Bayside Bulkhead Replacement Project at the not-to-exceed sum $21,345. The second is for the Beach Patrol Building Storage and Construction Staging during renovation, Fishing Pier Dune, and Sand Management at the not-to-exceed sum of $9,050.
I'll motion by consensus.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolutions be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing contracts with certain approved state contract vendors for calendar year 2023.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
And I believe we can do the last by consent agenda. That's all right with you all? Yes?
Sounds good.
Good. The first is authorizing the Wildwood Crest Police Department to participate in the Defense Logistics Agency Law Enforcement Support Office 1033 program to enable the Wildwood Crest Police Department to request and acquire excess Department of Defense equipment. The next is authorizing a shared services agreement between the Borough of Wildwood Crest and the City of Wildwood for the Little League maintenance for Morey Field and Higby Field. Next is restating and authorizing the amendment to a portion of Resolution Number 22-113, which designates borough commissioners as directors of the various borough departments and assigning the powers and duties of each department.
Motion?
Do you want, I was going to say, let's stop there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion by consensus.
I will second, Judge.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing an agreement by and between the Borough of Wildwood Crest and the Chief of Police, Robert Lloyd.
I'll move that.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
And then the last we can do by consent if you like.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. The next is amending Green Team Resolution number 22-260, adopted on December 28th, 2022, to fill a vacancy and appoint Kathy Filarino to a term expiring December 31st, 2025. Next is amending Wellness Committee Resolution 22-363, adopted on December 28th, 2022, to allow for 14 members and authorizing the appointment of Gina Vasti. Next is authorizing the mayor and borough clerk to sign the application for the fiscal year 2023 Clean Fleet EV Incentive Program application. Next is authorizing borough engineer work order for Beach Street End Public Access Improvements Phase 2, Wildwood Water Utility portion at the not-to-exceed sum of $29,000. And lastly is authorizing advertisement of a notice to bidders for the Beach Street End Public Access Improvements Phase 2.
I'll move that by consensus.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
We have no bills.
The bills?
The bills can't be paid.
Okay. Trish, thank you.
Thanks,
That's
Trish.
a mouthful.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Okay. First round of public comments. If anybody, we'll start with anybody here in the audience, and then we'll move to the conference line. Anybody have any public comments, please give your name and address for the record, and go ahead and make your statement or ask your question, and please come up to the podium. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you? My name is Steve Sawatka. I live in Dennis Township, Eldora. I'm the owner of Animal Control of South Jersey. I just want to introduce myself to you folks. I expect a really smooth transition to this year and with the animal control services. There shouldn't be any problem. We'll continue to deal with the feral cat problem, and as well as picking up injured birds. It becomes a big issue in the summer with birds. So as long as they're contained, we'll pick them up and bring them to a local rehabber. I do the same thing in Avalon, Sea City. We just picked up City of Cape May Point. So we pick up a lot of injured wildlife, so that won't be a problem with this community as well.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for
Thank you for your
introducing yourself.
adjustment.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, anybody else?
Hi, I'm Marcia Groff. My address is 112 West Atlantic Avenue in the Villas. I'm one of your local animal control officers. I currently work for Shore Animal Control Services for the past 4 years. And right now I have no commitment to work for anybody else. Let me tell you a little bit about Shore Animal Control. We have 4 vehicles approved by the Cape May County Health Department. 2 are kept close by. Because our team of officers are local, we can respond quickly and effectively. Besides helping cats and dogs, we pick up many injured birds along the shore. And as we know, injured gulls are the highest percentage of calls in the spring and summer months. I understand that we are the only company that picks up injured birds, that no other animal control does do that. Also, animal control is not only about dollars and cents, it's about relationships and experiences within our community. We've formed working relationships with the police department and the Cape May Animal Shelter. If you could speak to Judy Davies Dunhauer about the quality of our service we provide regarding the important decision you have made for the community. Shore Animal Control has a good reputation in helping animals, and we will continue to service Upper, Lower Township, Wildwood, and North Wildwood. Wishfully, it was going to be West Wildwood Crest as well. Animal control is the best choice for all of their animal needs in Wildwood communities on the island. It should be one unity. And I guess that's it. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any public comments? Yes.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Allison Dreen, and I live at 302 Clubhouse Drive in Lower Township. I work for Shore Animal Control, and I will not be working for any other animal control company. I became an ACO to help animals, and I chose to work for Shore Animal Control because I've witnessed the dedication and compassion of this team of people. I got to know everyone at Shore, and I felt that this would be the company where I could help animals and keep people safe. Their mission for caring for domestic animals as well as wildlife is exactly what I was looking for. I also know how important it is to get to an injured or found animal in a timely manner. When we get a call, our officers are within minutes of Wildwood Crest. Another company that is 45 minutes away with no traffic will not be able to get here quickly. I boarded my horses in this area of Dennis Township, and I know in the summer, if I didn't get on the road before 9 a.m., I would sit in bumper-to-bumper traffic for up to 3 hours to get there. I would just turn around and go home. This would not be acceptable for an animal emergency or dog bite situation. I'm requesting that you talk to the police department and the manager of the shelter about the quality of our service and maybe reconsider your decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm Joyce Scarborough. I live at 210 East Louisville Avenue in Wildwood Crest. I am an animal control officer certified by the state of New Jersey. I currently am working through Shore Animal Control with no plans in the immediate future to be working for anyone else. I think everyone here, including Mr. Zawaka, have addressed a lot of things. So being last, I'd like to thank the commissioners for the last 3 years of working in this township as your primary animal control officer. I'd like to say that we have a community above many communities, one of the finest police departments I've ever worked with. And as I'm sorry to see us not be your animal control officers, I would like to thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so just to wrap up the discussion on the animal control, I just want to make sure that everyone is understanding. There were 3 bids received. Their municipality, where Wildwood Crest, chose to go with the lowest bidder. We know it's going to be a tough budget year for this particular year. We haven't introduced the budget yet. All eyes are on cost. However, that said, if there's any issues going forward with our new animal control officer, then the borough will take the appropriate action to make any necessary changes that, whether it be during the year or even after the year. So I don't want anyone to think that this is a every year review. We'll take a look at it. We'll certainly speak to our police department and all the other department heads that are affected, our residents and vacationers, and anyone that's also affected before we weigh in on that discussion. So my last comment is, and correct me if I'm wrong, animal control officers, are they subcontractors or are they employees of their respective firms? Can anybody answer that question for me?
I'm a subcontractor.
Subcontractors.
Right.
Okay.
Some companies, they are employees when you're in the larger cities.
Okay, so that said, I would entertain our new animal control officer, if there is a possibility, certainly not the borough's request or decision, but if there is an opportunity to employ individuals that know our municipality, I would certainly welcome you to consider that, please. All right, any other discussion on animal control? Hearing none, any more new business, we'll move on to the conference line. Anybody on the conference line have any public comments? Hearing none, there's nothing listed under old business.
New business.
New business, I'm sorry. Under old business, there's a lot of things which we touched on pretty much a week ago. I don't think anything's really changed from a week ago. Anybody, commissioners?
No, sir, not from my end.
Okay. Well, that brings us then to our last round of public comments. We'll start with, again, anybody here in the audience who would like to make a public comment. This might be the fastest reorganization meeting ever.
I like the consensus.
Yeah. Anybody on the conference line have any public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to commissioner comments. We'll start with our youngest commissioner. Go ahead.
I just wanted to spotlight our former fire chief, Ron Harwood, for his 10 years of service. I believe he's made our borough a safer place to live. So on behalf of myself and the residents, I want to say thank you for his dedication and professionalism. I also would like to congratulate our new chief, Joe Cortez, as I'm sure you'll be doing a fine job moving forward, and looking forward to his monthly reports. Sound good?
Okay. Commissioner Schiff?
Did you look at my notes again?
I went first.
Every month you're looking at my notes. I like to reiterate the same thing, and that's good stuff that's happening. Hopefully, I'm sure it will be just fine, and congratulations to the new chief. I also want to congratulate our chief of police for his new contract. I know he works very hard. One thing I'd like to say, I can't believe that it's 1 year that we're here, that it just flew by. It was a great year. I am so humbled to be a part of this team. We have great commissioners. We work well together, and we're trying to create a great atmosphere for all of us. And by working together, and we have disagreements, but if we all thought the same, we would never be able to progress. And I'm happy to be a part of that. And we have great employees upstairs, downstairs through the borough, our police department, our EMS, our fire department, and our public works. Joe, I wouldn't want to forget you. So thank you for a great year. I'm sure our next year is going to be even better. And I want to say Happy New Year.
Thank you. Okay, so last but not least, the problem with going last is that these gentlemen to my left and right take all the thunder, so I'm going to do
We'll
my
let you go first.
The first,
We'll go oldest.
first, oldest, that was you. All right, so let me just start with wishing everybody a very happy New Year. I hope it was safe and healthy, and I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas as well. I want to congratulate Commissioner Franco and Commissioner Schiff on their first year of being here in office. As I said a year ago when we had the reorganization meeting at the Crest Pier, we knew it was going to be a learning curve. I have to say that they've dived into all the details and asking the right questions and doing all the things that they should be doing as a commissioner and as a governing body.
You have a few more gray hairs, I think.
I do have a few more gray hairs. Sometimes I got just more runs and swims and bikes to burn off all the stress, but nonetheless, it's all good. And I want everyone to keep an open mind. There's some good things coming up, as far as projects here this year in the borough. And we're working on the 2023 budget. If you read the Herald, you'll hear me say, this is going to be a tough year. Just hard decisions have to get made. We're prepared to make those decisions. We're just going to ask for open minds. At the end of the day, we know everything in our private lives are going up. Municipalities are no different. So I'm setting the stage for right now what I think is going to be a tough budget year. The Crest, for the last couple of years, have kept their increase to under a half a penny increase a year. It's probably going to go up there this year. So I don't want anyone to get any crazy ideas that taxes are going to be stable or are going to be at least a half a penny. They're probably going to go up. So prepare yourself, just like everything else around us. If we were to keep things stable or take them down, whatever, you're going to see the borough hurt in the future. We don't want to hurt the borough for the future. So that all said, again, Happy New Year. Thank you for your support. I'm talking to all the residents watching on their cell phones and tablets and at home. Appreciate all the help and any suggestions, recommendations. Please feel free to reach out to any of the governing body members and our great staff. That's it. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
9:52.